ربك صدقا وعدلا لا مبدل لكلماته وهو السميع العليم. وإن تطع أكثر من في الأرض يضلوك عن سبيل الله إن يتبعون إلا الظن وإن هم إلا يخرصون. إن ربك هو أعلم من يضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. فكلوا مما ذكر اسم الله عليه إن كنتم بآياته مؤمنين. وما لكم ألا تأكلوا مما ذكر اسم الله عليه وقد فصل لكم ما حرم عليكم إلا ما اضطررتم إليه وإن كثيرا ليضلون بأهوائهم بغير علم إن ربك هو أعلم بالمعتدين. وذروا ظاهر الإثم وباطنه إن الذين يكسبون الإثم سيجزون بما كانوا يقترفون. ولا تأكلوا مما لم يذكر اسم الله عليه وإنه لفسق وإن الشياطين ليوحون إلى أوليائهم ليجادلوكم وإن أطعتموهم إنكم لمشركون. أومن كان ميتا فأحييناه وجعلنا له نورا يمشي به في الناس كمن مثله في الظلمات ليس بخارج منها كذلك زين للكافرين ما كانوا يعملون. وكذلك جعلنا في كل قرية أكابر مجرميها ليمكروا فيها وما يمكرون إلا بأنفسهم وما يشعرون. وإذا جاءتهم آية قالوا لن نؤمن حتى نؤتى مثل ما أوتي رسل الله الله أعلم حيث يجعل رسالته سيصيب الذين أجرموا صغار عند الله سيصيب الذين أجرموا صغار عند الله وعذاب شديد بما كانوا يمكرون.
فمن يرد الله أن يهديه يشرح صدره للإسلام ومن يرد أن يضله يجعل صدره ضيقا حرجا كأنما يصعد في السماء كذلك يجعل الله الرجس على الذين لا يؤمنون وهذا صراط ربك مستقيما قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يذكرون لهم دار السلام عند ربهم وهو وليهم بما كانوا يعملون ويوم يحشرهم جميعا يا معشر الجن قد استكثرتم من الإنس وقال أولياؤهم من الإنس ربنا استمتع بعضنا ببعض وبلغنا أجلنا الذي أجلت لنا قال النار مثواكم خالدين فيها إلا ما شاء الله إن ربك حكيم عليم وكذلك نولي بعض الظالمين بعضا بما كانوا يكسبون يا معشر الجن والإنس ألم يأتكم رسل منكم يقصون عليكم آياتي وينذرونكم لقاء يومكم هذا قالوا شهدنا على أنفسنا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا وشهدوا على أنفسهم أنهم كانوا كافرين ذلك أن لم يكن ربك مهلك القرى بظلم وأهلها غافلون ولكل درجات مما عملوا وما ربك بغافل عما يعملون وربك الغني ذو الرحمة إن يشأ يذهبكم ويستخلف من بعدكم ما يشاء كما أنشأكم من ذرية قوم آخرين إنما توعدون لآت وما أنتم بمعجزين قل يا قوم اعملوا على مكانتكم إني عامل فسوف تعلمون من تكون له عاقبة الدار إنه لا يفلح الظالمون وجعلوا لله مما ذرأ من الحرث والأنعام نصيبا فقالوا هذا لله بزعمهم وهذا لشركائنا فما كان لشركائهم فلا يصل إلى الله وما كان لله فهو يصل إلى شركائهم ساء ما يحكمون وكذلك زين لكثير من المشركين قتل أولادهم شركاؤهم ليردوهم وليلبسوا عليهم دينهم ولو شاء الله ما فعلوه فذرهم وما يفترون
وقالوا هذه أنعام وحرث حجر لا يطعمها إلا من نشاء بزعمهم وأنعام حرمت ظهورها وأنعام لا يذكرون اسم الله عليها افتراء عليه سيجزيهم بما كانوا يفترون. وقالوا ما في بطون هذه الأنعام خالصة لذكورنا ومحرم على أزواجنا وإن يكن ميتة فهم فيه شركاء سيجزيهم وصفهم إنه حكيم عليم. قد خسر الذين قتلوا أولادهم سفها بغير علم وحرموا ما رزقهم الله افتراء على الله قد ضلوا وما كانوا مهتدين. وهو الذي أنشأ جنات معروشات وغير معروشات والنخل والزرع مختلفا أكله والزيتون والرمان متشابها وغير متشابه كلوا من ثمره إذا أثمر وآتوا حقه يوم حصاده ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين. ومن الأنعام حمولة وفرشا كلوا مما رزقكم الله ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين. 8 أزواج من الضأن 2 ومن المعز 2 قل أذكرين حرم أم الأنثيين أما اشتملت عليه أرحام الأنثيين نبئوني بعلم إن كنتم صادقين. ومن الإبل 2 ومن البقر 2 قل أذكرين حرم أم الأنثيين أما اشتملت عليه أرحام الأنثيين أم كنتم شهداء إذ وصاكم الله بهذا فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا ليضل الناس بغير علم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. قل لا أجد فيما أوحي إلي محرما على طاعم يطعمه إلا أن يكون ميتة أو دما مسفوحا أو لحم خنزير فإنه رجس أو فسقا أهل لغير الله به، فمن اضطر غير باغ ولا عاد فإن ربك غفور رحيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and good morning to everyone. So I'll welcome you on this 13th day of holy month of Ramadan, which is one of those days that we are in the second 10 days of the holy month of Ramadan. And this is again the month of Allah, the month of maghfirah, the month of fasting, the month of acceptance of your hajat, the month of Imam Zaman, and the month of Quran. So inshallah, we have our program like each morning, and we will have a guest speaker, and we are lucky to have Sayyid Muhammad Taqi Dirhami with us this morning. And many of you know him. He has been serving our community since the time of its inception, the very beginning, when few families used to exist here, and they formed an organization, and they started a setup that was where people used to go and pray and talk about the issues of the society, and of course majalis and the events like we are conducting. Another important thing that relates to our program is that he has been hosting Radio Sahar for past over 2 decades, and this Radio Sahar has been a legacy, and of course was one of the inspirations that made us to start this program back in 2020. And so inshallah he'll be with us, and because of some renovations in the studio, he couldn't continue for this year, but inshallah from next year's Radio Star will be back on. So we are lucky to have him with us. Inshallah, in a few minutes I will invite him for you, just to remind everyone in terms of the times today. Today the time of Imsak is 5:20 a.m. and the time for Fajr is 5:30, which is normally there's a 10 minutes gap in between. Maghrib tonight is 6:12, so it's again coming back, and the fast is becoming shorter and shorter as in terms of the duration. So alhamdulillah, we are in this way we have got these easy days of fasting as compared to those who are in the hotter parts of the world, where it's peak summer at the moment. So inshallah, I will start the program with the dua of the day, and this is the dua for the day 13th of the holy month of Ramadan. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم طهرني فيه من الدنس والإقذار وصبرني فيه على كائنات الأقدار ووفقني ووقني فيه لتقى وصحبة الأبرار بعونك يا قرة عين المساكين. So now I'll read the translation. O Allah, on this day, purify me from uncleanliness and dirt. Make me patient over events that are decreed by you. Grant me the ability to be pious and keep company with good people. By your help, O the beloved of those who are masakin. So again, just a small little thought on this dua. So again, these words of "Taharni fihi min ad-danas wal-iqzar" takes me to that concept of uncleanliness and dirt. So the act of fasting itself, it is said to be a process of cleanliness. And if you remember, towards the beginning of the holy month, we were discussing the concept of spiritual detox. So now science has proven that fasting cleans our system. It basically cleans our body with all the harmful toxins that sticks to our body for certain habits of diet and lack of exercise and so forth. So likewise, our soul also gets unclean and dirty over the time, because we are constantly feeding the body, but we forget to feed the soul, and it's vice versa. So we have to control the diet of our soul, and likewise, this is the month when the soul get nourished, the soul get cleansed. So it is an act where we have the opportunity to cleanse our soul. And again, by simply abstaining from food and drink is the bare minimum. And then again, we have got acts like recitation of Quran, or reflecting upon on Quran, and other acts of worship that is focused towards the purification of our nafs. And of course, before until we purify ourselves, how can we come towards something, how can we get something which is clean within us? So this line itself, it's amazing, the way it gives us the hint towards uh, cleanliness of the soul. And make me patient over the events that are decreed. So indeed, there are certain events that are going to occur in one's life, and this life is full of ups and downs. So Imam Ali has said that one day is with you, the other day is not in your favor. So on the day when it is in your favor, do not forget God and be thankful. Be the one who has gratitude in his actions rather than being arrogant. And on the day when the day is not in favor of you, try to be patient. So again, here also Imam is bringing our attention towards being patient. And again, being patient doesn't mean that one does nothing, but it means that one is firm upon belief on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He is the one who controls everything, and we are the ones who should refer to Him in every time of happiness or in grief. And then towards the end, the words of Imam says, grant me the ability to be pious. So again, the loves of tuqa here. So it's a very broad meaning word. God consciousness is one of the translations. But again, we know the meaning and the understanding of taqwa. We have been hearing in talks and lectures and khutbah. So again, asking Allah. So we are referring to him rather than relying on ourselves, because again, uh, we have to acknowledge that that we are dependent on that being. Of course, he has given us certain powers and certain abilities, but again, we have to ask him to give us the ability, to give us the strength to apply those moral values within us, and keep the company with good, al-abrar. So again, this is also a guidance that if we be among the people who are the people of God consciousness, who are the people who are aware of their purpose, then we will be like them. So it's a basic concept. Like these days, these motivation speakers, they talk about that how a person's company is important. That if a person spends his time with negative people, they tend to make him of that thinking. So you need to be someone who chooses whom one socializes with. So, and the best of companies, the company of al-abrar. And if you're blessed, so again, we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the company of those people who can remind us of God, who can take us towards God, who can take us towards the real purpose of our life. And again, conclusive notes in this dua: by your help, O the beloved of Masakin. So acknowledging your helplessness, that again we are dependent on God, and we are asking that you are the one who helps those who are in need. So inshallah, that's the conclusion of dua, and I don't want to take a lot of time of Sayyid, so it's time for the talk. And inshallah, I would like to know, I'm very happy, I'm very delighted that he is with us today. I would like to invite Sayyid Taqi, Sayyid Muhammad Taqi Darhami Sahab, and with a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبو القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. I would like to start by thanking the people who are organizing these programs. Inshallah ta'ala, you will get a lot of reward for it. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to read a few ayahs of Quran. The topic is the Hazrat Ibrahim ala nabiyyina wa alihi wa alayhi salam. And we want to see verses of Quran which tells his story. I have chosen as the first one Surah Safat, verse 83 of Surah Safat. We listen to it together and then I will translate inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إذ جاء ربه بقلب سليم إذ قال لأبيه وقومه ماذا تعبدون أئفكا آلهة دون الله تريدون فما ظنكم برب العالمين.
Before these ayahs, Quran was talking about Hazrat Nuh ala nabiyina wa alayhi salam. So the start of ayah says, "Inna min shi'atihi la Ibrahim." Of the people who followed the Nuh, One is Ibrahim. And when was that? Is جَاءَ رَبَّهُ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. When he approached Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a healthy heart. Now, healthy heart here, qalbun salim, untouched, untainted, very natural, the way Allah has created us to start with. He somehow, Allah was kind to him, and as he was growing, because when we grow, when we come to this world, all of us have got qalbun salim, but as we grow, that heart gets tainted. We get the values that have been dictated to us from our surrounding. Now he was somehow, Allah helped, and when he became to his adolescence, nearly adult, he was still healthy. So the very first question he is questioning his society, his father and all others, is the subject of worship. What do you worship? So this is the setting up for his lesson of Tawheed, as the brother Abu Ali Talib al-Bayati was mentioning. Most prophets, when they come, they talk about these topics of Tawheed, Ad, Nabuwat, Imamat, and Ma'at. And so he starts with Tawheed when he's asking, إذ قال لأبيه وقومه ماذا تعبدون? When he asks his father and his society, what are you worshipping? أَإِفْكًا آلِهَةً دُونَ اللَّهِ تُرِيدُونَ? Here, the word ifk is a very good translation for ifk is fake. In English we say fake, in Arabic ifk. أَإِفْكًا آلِهَةً دُونَ اللَّهِ تُرِيدُونَ? Are you worshipping a fake God other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We're questioning, putting them in a question. What is in your mind of the creator of the world? The big question, put them in a thinking mode, trying to put them in a thinking mode. We continue.
فنظر نظرة في النجوم فقال إني سقيم فتولوا عنه مدبرين.
So he had a look at the sky and to the stars, and he said, oh, I'm not well. I cannot come to work. It must have been early in the morning when people get up and go together to work, and he was supposed to go to work. So he's taking time off with the excuse of being sick. Here, فَنَظَرَ نَظْرَةً فِي النُّجُومِ, he somehow realized that he's not well by looking at the sky and looking at the stars. It was too early in the morning, the stars were still in the sky, and he had to look at them, and he said, I'm not well. Then there are certainly secrets in that. I cannot undo it for you, other than to say that it seems that the nation that he was in somewhere in the present time of, we call it Iraq, near Euphrates River, and people there were Sa'ibin. They were worshippers of the stars. They were worshipping the stars. So looking at the stars for them was something normal. And then coming back, oh, I'm not well. I cannot come to work today. So they left him. They left him without much question and answer, and they went away. There was one book which said that he claimed he had a contagious disease. So, فَتَوَلَّوْا عَنْهُ مُدْبِرِينَ, they sort of escaped away from him. Backward, they went away, keeping away from his sickness, so that his sickness doesn't get to them. Whether what it was, I do not know. But that was one of the translations I read.
فراغ إلى آلهتهم فقال ألا تأكلون ما لكم لا تنطقون فراغ عليهم ضربا باليمين فأقبلوا إليه يزفون.
So when they went away, he went to those places where all the idols were kept, and there were food put in front of the idols. He said, "Why aren't you eating them?" He started talking to them. Why aren't you? And why don't you answer me? Why don't you talk? So he is rubbing it in. Them being of no use. They can't help themselves. They can't talk. They are nothing. They're just statues. So he approached them and with his right hand strongly hit one of them, and then a lot of them. Now here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says he hit it with the hand. Some books say he had a axe and he crushed all the small boats, small idols with the axe, and then leave the axe with the big one. But that is not what is in Quran. In Quran, it says he smacked them with the hand and they fell. They were balanced early on. They lost their balance and fell and cracked. So here, Quran very quickly shortens it up. That so people, and he went away. So people rushed towards him. فأقبلوا إليه يزفون. They rushed to him. Why have you broken the statues? What's the story? So he said,
قال أتعبدون ما تنحتون والله خلقكم وما تعملون قالوا ابنوا له بنيانا فألقوه في الجحيم فأرادوا به كيدا فجعلناهم الأسفلين.
So he said, you are worshipping something who cannot, you have made it with your own hands, and you are worshipping them. Allah created you and all the things that you do. So in other words, all the things that you do, including, it's all the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet you go and worship something that you have made. So they decided to put him in a فَأَلْغُوهُ فِي الْجَحِيمِ. They made a big fire and throw him. قَالُوا ابْنُوا لَهُ بُنْيَانًا. They made a special place for this fire and a special instrument for throwing him into the fire. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they made a scheme, but Allah made that scheme to be defeated. And so he said that he's departing. He after the scheme of burning him didn't work, people were happy that he leaves them, and he left. And he said, Allah will guide me. وقال إني ذاهب إلى ربي سيهدين. I go towards my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and He will guide me, inshallah ta'ala. Now, if we continue the other parts of the story of Hazrat Ibrahim, it contains a lot of points relevant to today's world and for us to learn. Here, the main point here is questioning what we inherit. Questioning what we inherit. Which ones are true and which one? Each one of us at the earliest stage of our life have got a good sieve for questioning what we inherit, what is right and what is not right. So that way, inshallah, generation after generation, our i'tiqadat, our belief becomes purer and purer, inshallah ta'ala. I think I've talked a lot today, and I wish Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you reward. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد أجمعين. Jazakumullah. Thank you so much, Sayyid Darhami, for your beautiful speech in this morning hour and making yourself available. Inshallah, we'll have you for next few nights with us as well, inshallah. And afterwards, towards the end of the Holy Ramadan, you will have your again. So amazing how we have. I mean, I was discussing while Sayyid Darhami was talking about the tafsir of Quran that he was mentioning. I was talking to my wife, and we were while we were having sahur, that we have a saying in back in our country, and it's pretty much in all cultures, that every grain of food there is a name written of who will eat it, who will consume it. And the same thing relates to this intellectual and spiritual food of what we are getting through our elders and through our scholars at this hour. So imagine all of you who are joining us at this hour, and we are we are listening and we are absorbing these words of wisdom. Indeed, it's our rizq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So say Alhamdulillah for that. So we still have 10 more minutes before the time of Imsak. So those who are working towards getting your fasting for today. So inshallah, so 10 more minutes, and I wanted to start Dua Sahar. So we'll start it early, and with the time that we will be left with afterwards, inshallah, we will continue with our discussion on Dua Makarimul Akhlaq, inshallah. So we'll go to Dua Sahar now.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك من بحائك بأبحاه وكل بحائك بهي اللهم إني أسألك ببحائك كله اللهم إني أسألك من جمالك بأجمله وكل جمالك جميل اللهم إني أسألك بجمالك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من جلالك بأجلي، وكل جلالك جليل. اللهم إني أسألك بجلالك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من عظمتك بعظمها، وكل عظمتك عظيمة. اللهم إني أسألك بعظمتك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من نورك بأنواره، وكل نورك نير. اللهم إني أسألك بنورك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من رحمتك بأوسعها، وكل رحمتك واسعة. اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من كلماتك بأتمها، وكل كلماتك تامة. اللهم إني أسألك بكلماتك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من كمالك بأكمله، وكل كمالك كامل. اللهم إني أسألك بكمالك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من أسمائك بأكبرها، وكل أسمائك كبيرا. اللهم إني أسألك بأسمائك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من عزتك بعظام، وكل عزتك عزيزا. اللهم إني أسألك بعزتك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من مشيئتك بأمزاها، وكل مشيئتك ماضيا. اللهم إني أسألك بمشيئتك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من قدرتك بالقدرة التي استطلت بها على كل شيء، وكل قدرتك مستطيلا. اللهم إني أسألك بقدرتك كلها. اللهم إني أسألك من علمك بأنفذه، وكل علمك نافذ. اللهم إني أسألك بعلمك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من قولك بأرزاهم وكل قولك رضي. اللهم إني أسألك بقولك كل. اللهم إني أسألك من مسائلك بأحبها إليك وكل مسائلك إليك حبيبا. اللهم إني أسألك بمسائلك كلهم. اللهم إني أسألك من شرفك بأشرفه وكل شرفك شريف. اللهم إني أسألك بشرفك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من سلطانك بأدومه وكل سلطانك دائم. اللهم إني أسألك بسلطانك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من ملكك بأفخره وكل ملكك فاخر. اللهم إني أسألك بملكك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من علوك بآلهم وكل علوك اللهم إني أسألك بعلوك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من منك بأقدمه وكل منك قديم. اللهم إني أسألك بمنك كله. اللهم إني أسألك من آياتك بأكرمها وكل آياتك كريما. اللهم إني أسألك بآياتك كلهم. اللهم إني أسألك بما أنت فيه من الشان والجبروت، وأسألك بكل شان وحده وجبروت وحده. اللهم إني أسألك بما تجيبني به أسألك فأجبني يا الله.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. Welcome back, all those who are with us. So it is time for Imsak, and inshallah you get prepared for the Fajr. And with the few minutes that we have left, let's recite together the Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq. And right, so I thought it would be better if we can also see the dua while we are reading it. So again, the few lines that we recited yesterday. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa balligh bi imani akmal al iman waj'al yaqini afdal al yaqin وأنت بنيتي إلى أحسن النيات وبعملي إلى أحسن الأعمال. So again, as we discussed earlier, that Imam is trying to bring our attention towards the importance of Iman and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the complete Iman. And this reminds me of a beautiful discussion that we had yesterday with some of the brothers, and some of you might be watching this program right now, that the concept of Iman and what to achieve is the completion of Iman. So when we come in this world, we come with as an empty vessel, and as we go through, the Iman gets added up upon our nafs, upon our soul. And the target that we have been given by Allah is to become kamil, to become perfect in that Iman. And the concept of kufr, a lot of people say, what is kafir, what is, and kufr is the opposite of Iman. So kufr itself is to cover Iman. So it's not any complicated jargon. So what literally it means that someone who tries to cover Iman by knowing it, that this belief is right. So again, Iman refers to belief, and belief itself is the building block of any action, any doing. So like, if you don't believe on diet, we won't do it. I mean, there are lots of people who think that we are going to diet from tomorrow or from next week, but they never end up doing it because they don't believe on it. Likewise, in terms of learning, so a lot of children that they go to school, they don't have that belief, that firm belief that this education is going to take us somewhere. So same concept of belief has the vital importance. So that's where a lot of talk in Quran is about, is to those people who are the people of belief. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, ya ayyuhallazina amanu. So again, Imam is also asking for that belief. And then again, the belief, here we have the correct belief. So there are so many deviations to the belief itself. And then comes to yaqeen as the next step, which comes on the belief. So it's a stamp on that belief of certainty, that now the belief is not going to shake. It's not going to go anywhere. I mean, it's like a mountain that stands on its own place. So yaqeen is certainty, conviction on that belief itself. So asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, afzalul yaqeen, the yaqeen which is higher than the yaqeen I have had before on yesterday, and tomorrow I'll have even higher. And then وَأَنْتِ بِنِيَّتِ لَا أَحْسَنِ النِّيَّاتِ. And then with that belief and certainty on that belief, I'm asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the beautiful, the pure intention towards all my actions. And that's where the actions are not just limited to fasting or praying salah or giving charity, but the building block, the force which is making me to do that action, the belief system, the certainty on that belief will be that niyyah, that intention. And that intention is in every action that I do. Like, God forbid, if someone is inclined towards haram, and perhaps there are so many opportunities of haram these days with the social media, with the mobile, and haram, not saying something which is haram, but something which is kind of deviating us from our purpose. So once someone has that belief, he will say, oh, it's my waste of time. So why would I waste my time with something which is not going to add to my life? So again, that intention comes from that belief and the certainty on that belief. And then Imam is asking, وَبِعَمَلِي إِلَى أَحْسَنِ الْأَعْمَالِ. So give me the best of the actions. So make my life, make me of someone who can get best out of me, because we've got a limited lifespan and this life is going to come to an end. We all know that. Nobody has ever lived in this world forever. So with this limited amount of time, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me the best opportunity to do this, the best of amal. And just a few lines as we have a little bit more time. وَصَحِحْ بِمَا عندك يقيني. Sorry. اللهم غفر بلطفك نيتي وصح بما عندك يقيني واستصلح بقدرتك ما فسد مني. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. So the first theme of this dua finishes here. And with these words, let's read the translation together. O Allah, complete my intentions through your gentleness. So how it works now. So what was what we discussed earlier, that now we know that intentions have great importance on our actions. So now Imam is asking or teaching us to ask in this way, O Allah, complete my intentions through your gentleness, bilutfik. So we have heard that this whole universe, this whole like system, this whole structure stands for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it has that benevolence, it has that dependence on Allah, and it's soft. It's the concept of it. God doesn't forces anything upon us, because if we are forced upon something by God, it's going to be very difficult for us. So here Imam is asking, complete my intentions through your gentleness. So Allah gives us hints, small little challenges in life, those difficulties, they're there to make our intention pure, and rectify my certainty through what is with you. So again, certainty, we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Imam is teaching us, that what is with Allah. So bima indak, and correct or rectify my yaqeen, my certainty. وَاسْتَصْلَحْ بِقُدْرَتِكَ مَا فَسَدَ مِنِّي. We have this word in Urdu of islah, of correction. بِقُدْرَتِكَ. So qudrat is again the authority of Allah. مَا فَسَدَ مِنِّي. So asking, Imam is asking, what is fasad, what is corrupt in me? So it's like a surgery, it's like a surgical operation. So of course we ask Allah, like hopefully we don't get to that stage that we have to go through that surgical procedure of removing what is not required within us. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So we concluded here. It is time for Fajr, and hope that you have followed this dua. So these duas are beautiful, and inshallah may Allah give us the opportunity to get the real meanings from these du'as and from the recitation of Quran. So don't forget each other in this holy month, and inshallah we will see you same time tomorrow, 4:30 a.m. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما الله أكبر
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين عليا ولي حي على الصلاة حي على حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله، عليك وعلى آلك الطيبين الطاهرين، والحمد لله رب العالمين.